Hi, CP.
Hi, Mummy Bear.
Chit-Chat time.
It is episode 35.
That's right. This is Dan Stearne.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on Garden as well, 2025, episode 9. He was at Malvern.
Yeah, he was one of the young growers that was coming in. Adam was like, yeah, we got a younger grower.
Yeah, Adam was very chuffed at him only being 22 years old at the time.
Yeah.
So Dan joined us to talk about his dream garden, and we had all sorts of unusual things going on.
I mean, I got to say, first of all, be ready for there to be talk about zombie apocalypses and how you need to create a dream garden so that you can stay safe.
You can stay safe from the zombies.
Yeah, exactly.
Impending zombies. We also hear a lot about how involved all of Dan's family are in his plant growing.
Yeah, they are so long suffering. and it's so sweet at the same time. There's a whole chain of people. I pot, you plant, you put it to one side, you water it.
There's mum, dad, sister, auntie, grandma. They're all involved.
There's a whole production team line behind this.
One thing we didn't talk about was the Christmas wreaths that Dan does.
No.
So we will put his website on our gardens page of our website, which is where we put all recommendations that Dan has talked about.
Oh, of course.
And you can find his Christmas wreath information on there.
Yeah.
But we did talk about apprenticeship degrees.
We did, and how they're very interesting and they're really brilliant at the same time, because you can be
so practical,
working and studying at the same time. And it comes back to so many ideas that I've thought about how I love to be hands-on so many things. I would prefer to be hands-on most of the time when I'm learning stuff than
just reading theory.
Just reading. And I think that's why I love chemistry and physics, because I get to kind of do experiments and see how things work.
Tinker about.
So apprenticeships are really great.
They're really great. And I think all three of us are on the same page in this chit-chat
I think
about that. We talk about the challenges of selling plants online.
Yeah, very
fitting
difficult.
in plant growing and selling alongside studies.
I know.
Amazing what he's achieved.
It is crazy.
Phone-operated greenhouses.
Yes, this is very cool. If you want to hear about a greenhouse that does everything, he talks about it in his dream garden, so be ready to listen out on that one.
And then we have some tips from Dan on if you're displaying plants at any of the big shows.
Yeah, exactly what you're looking for, what you need to kind of cut back or whatever.
Yeah, and also recognising which salvias are hardy and which aren't by feeling the stems.
Yeah, that's a very good top tip.
Potting machines.
Oh, now this we had never heard of.
Never heard of.
And I'm sure many people haven't heard of this, but this is something I will be getting when I earn millions.
Oh,
somehow.
Really? You'll be getting a potting machine?
Of course I'll get a potting machine. That way I can have
that was part of your life's
plan. It is so going to be thousands.
On an industrial level.
Yeah, just for myself.
Well, we have, as usual, some noises, usually dog-related.
Yeah.
There's a dog, Dan's end, and apparently his dad was winding the dog up.
Oh,
so you can hear a bit of that.
Yeah.
And then you can also just hear Dan is absentmindedly sweeping his desk quite a bit, so you'll get a lot of sweeping noises going on.
It's so funny what happens when you're just chatting. And
there's always a lot of cleaning of laptops and desks when our guests are chatting.
Yeah, because I suppose you're kind of thinking and you're gently chatting, because we're not going rapid fire at each other. And we're just chatting, and so I suppose, just cleaning. I mean, I know I have to fiddle. Yeah, I've stopped with my pens now.
Biggest fiddler.
Yeah.
I think it's just an absent-minded thing, and you see some
so.
dust whilst you're chatting, think, well, I'll do a touch of house cleaning
whilst
I'm on this episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sweet Pea, what is the format?
So, for this zombie apocalypse dream garden, we have garden boundary, shed or greenhouse, 5 ornamentals, 5 edibles, 1 statement tree, pond or pool plus 1 plant. Dan really wanted to get both.
Oh, he was trying all sorts of tricks, wasn't he?
Does not work.
Bear kept him in line.
You did. You were really like,
I was really strict.
No, you can't.
No.
Anyways, and the last one, obviously, favourite seating area, drink and plant.
And if you want to get in contact and give any feedback or have any questions, then please do so on our website. There's a contact form. That's notjustagarden.co.uk.
Yeah.
Or through our email address, which is notjustagarden@outlook.com.
And of course, we love some great feedback.
Some feedback would be great if it's great feedback.
Exactly. I think that works. That's a very coherent
some redundant
sentence.
Comments there. Well, I think we should get stuck into this episode.
Yeah.
This is episode 35, A Good Old Chit-Chat with Dan Stearne.
Let's go see the zombies.
Welcome down to Good Ol Chit-Chat.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Lovely to see you. Wasn't that long ago that you were on Gardener's World. You were actually at the RHS Malvern Spring Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Great fun. A lovely show as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you go every year?
That's my first one.
Oh,
First
okay.
ever RHS show. But I'll definitely be back every year now, I think.
So we saw you on the show on Gardener's World, and you had a display, didn't you? You were displaying the plants that you sell.
Yes, yeah.
You also did a video with Grandma Lily. That video, I understood from the episode, you guys filmed yourselves at home. Is that right? You didn't have a crew come in and film that?
We did, yeah. We tried to work it out with the crew, but just down to a few things and time. We did it ourselves, which was nice because it was nice for us to do it ourselves. And I think it probably came across better that we filmed it ourselves because it was handmade.
You were more relaxed as well, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that it was for the better.
Who was involved in that then? Because there was you and Grandma Lily in the greenhouse, and then there was at least one other person giving some back chat from behind the camera.
Yeah, it was my sister. My sister filming it.
Okay.
So I think there was a clip where we were in the greenhouse and Emma was laughing, my sister, and Grandma was, "Why? Yeah, get yourself here and I'll record," sort of thing. Yeah,
it really was funny. It was a really nice segment. So you did that recording for Gardener's World. How did they get in touch with you about being recorded?
Yeah, so when we apply for the shows, there's a whole process where all the nurseries involved in the floral marquee have to sort of let them know if there's anything exciting to do with the display, like if it's an anniversary or they're introducing a new plant. My big news was obviously that it's my first show, and that was 22 doing the show. So that was the sort of bite for them, and then they got in touch with me after that, and we had quite a few back and forths, and we came out with what we produced, which was great.
Yeah, and Adam Frost was chatting to you. He did call you the new kid on the block, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
22-year-old young man, new kid on the block, and he was really enthralled with the plants that you were displaying. There was mention of you having 120 plants. Is that right, that you sell?
In the display, in the display itself, there was probably a few hundred plants. Variety-wise, I grow around 100 to 200 different varieties of plants.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
So can you explain how it all started? We know that Grandma Lily was a real inspiration for you, and that you also, for the show, you nicked a few of her plants. Well, a lot of her plants.
A lot of the plants.
But you did mention on how she was an inspiration. Could you tell us how that all started for you?
Yeah, so she's never actually had a greenhouse before, but we've always sort of grown plants, particularly sweet peas and marigolds, annuals that are easy to grow. And we mainly did them for the sweet peas for cutting at the end of term for primary school teachers. So we used to give them bunches at the end of term. So that's how it all started.
At what age was that then?
That was probably sort of 5, 6.
So you would turn up at school with your little posy of
so like year 1, sort of in primary school.
Yeah.
So that's how it started, and then we've always sort of grown bits and bobs. And then probably when I was maybe 10 or a bit older, we started to collect the seeds and sort of put them in envelopes and try and sell them. And then in 2017...
who was your clientele when you were 10 years old? Were you sort of selling them on street corners?
My mum, my auntie.
Right.
Strictly family, neighbours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we started to grow the plants and then sell the plants when I was 14. And my grandma was church warden of Winster Valley Church near Windermere. And they used to do a book and plant day every month to raise funds, originally to build a toilet there. And then they used to do it for the upkeep of the church. And they used to have a plant supplier for that, but they retired. So we started to grow a few plants for that. So that's actually how it all started, really, with the growing and selling.
So you would grow them, take them to this church event once a month, sell all your... What sort of size plants did you have? Were they plug plants or were they sort of...
They were sort of in a 9-centimetre pot upwards. So they weren't, they weren't very big, but there was some, say, in the summer, there was some dahlias that would be in bigger pots. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were 14 years old and that was your first experience of earning money?
Yes, earning my own money, yeah.
Yeah. How did that feel?
It was great, yeah. Just the satisfaction of being able to grow something, get money for it, and then for your customer to then plant it and enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
Very satisfying.
Win-win, isn't it?
Yeah.
You said that they used to have that church event. Has that stopped now, the monthly event?
Yeah, so there was a lack of volunteers. Sort of the age in the village has gone up. People are less able. My grandma, although she'd love to take it on, she's not able to do that anymore.
No.
So it was just down to a lack of volunteers, really, which is a shame. But there might be it might come back, say, once a year. But it was every year from sort of April to November. Okay. So it was most of the year, every month.
Yeah. And when did you stop doing that?
I think it was about a year ago.
Okay. You're 22 now, so
we have been doing it. Yeah, I've been keeping that one up, just because it's where we started, and we've always been involved with it. Yeah. My grandma would bake the cakes. My mum and my sister would help out making the coffees and teas and things.
Yeah,
and then I would be there with the plants.
Is your sister? That's Emma. Is it? Is she older or younger than you?
She's younger. Yeah.
Right.
She's a few years younger.
Family affair then.
It is.
So how did you progress from the church selling to then you bought some land, or you renting some land? Is that right? And you've set up polytunnels and you're really going for it.
So from then, as you do, you grow more and more things. So then you run out of space and you think, oh, where am I going to sell these? So that's when I was going around the village with a wheelbarrow trying to sell things. And then in 2020, just before the pandemic, I started to supply a local farm shop.
Okay.
And I started working there, and they were sort of interested in what I was doing in the growing. So they started to sell some, and that's when it sort of picked up massively, when they started to get into other shops. Just because I wasn't doing any events or anything at that time, so it was an outlet for the plants. And then every year it's sort of grown. This is still growing plants in the garden.
Still no greenhouse.
Well, I had a greenhouse at home at this point.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So your parents, you live at home with your parents, do you? So their garden has just been taken over by Dan's plants at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've got two greenhouses at my parents' house. They're not very big. The biggest one I think is 6 by 8 foot, so it's not very big. And then just a bit of outdoor space. I did convert a border into a plant growing area.
Oh yeah,
which has been
border.
Taken back now. Now I've moved.
Too right.
But yeah, I had taken over the garden pretty much.
Of course.
But actually, it's only been in the past sort of 3 years I've built a greenhouse at Grandma's.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you were filmed in?
Yes, yeah. That's what that was filmed in.
Oh, wonderful. So you were able to give back to Lily then by giving her that greenhouse?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was growing my own stuff in there. She wasn't allowed to grow what she wanted, but...
Oh, I see.
Oh, of course.
She does have a bit more freedom now because I'm not really growing much at home anymore.
Because you're renting some land, right?
Yes. So I think it was last year. I started to lease some land near where I live, which is part of the Sizer estate, and it's not very big at all. It's probably a third of an acre. It's an old sort of horse school.
How did you find that then?
So that it belongs to the farm shop that I've supplied and used to work for, so I knew them quite well. So it was just a case of, I'm exploding with plants here. I really need somewhere to grow. I've been looking for some land to buy at this point, but it's very rare and it's very expensive up here. So that was sort of the bridging point to finding a more permanent place.
And you say up here because you're in Windermere.
I'm in Natland, which is the South Lakes, South Cumbria, around Kendal area.
Okay. And that's an expensive area, is it?
It is for land, yeah.
Yeah, I guess everyone wants to live near the lakes.
Yeah.
So you got this land. Did you know immediately, right, I need to have a number of polytunnels?
Yeah, that was always the plan. So I started with one, did great. I was able to supply more shops, do some more events. I've always known that I wanted to do the flower shows. Whether I'll do them and I'll just do flower shows in the future, we'll see. But I've always known I've wanted to do them. So I've done some smaller local plant fairs, country shows, that sort of thing. So I was able to do more of those with that extra tunnel. But in the past, probably since autumn last year, that's when I built another two.
Okay.
Why have you always wanted to do the plant shows? Is it because it gives you that exposure?
We used to visit them. We used to go to a couple every year, quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
So we've been to Harrogate, Sandringham, Tatton before.
Okay.
Because we've got some family friends who used to have a nursery. And they did all the flower shows, so we used to go meet up with my auntie and uncle who used to help them at the flower shows. So that's where we used to meet them. So that's how I sort of got into looking around the shows. And then from there, it's been like, this is sort of something I want to do.
Yeah.
Something we should mention is your entrepreneurial side has been happening alongside your studies. So you were doing your GCSEs, A levels, and then also went on to do a degree. Is that right? During
that's right. Yeah.
all of the other stuff that you were doing to do with selling plants and renting land and building polytunnels. How did you fit all of that in?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot to fit in. When I was at school, obviously the plant business wasn't very big at that time. A levels, it was, I think when I was doing my A levels, I had 2 or 3 shops I was supplying, but I wasn't really doing many events. And the shops weren't having big amounts, so it was sort of a weekend thing, really.
Right.
And then when I went to university, that was more of an apprenticeship degree. So I wasn't at university full time. I only went 1 day a week, but I was still working 4 days a week as well. But because I was still living at home, I was able to do it in the evenings and at weekends.
What university was that?
University of Cumbria, and I went to Ambleside, the Ambleside campus.
Doing which course?
It was a chartered management degree, so it was sort of business management, focusing on sort of professional status, really.
So you were 4 days a week working for a business, unrelated to selling plants, presumably?
Yes, unrelated, yeah.
Okay, and so you do 4 days a week there, and then the 5th day a week you would do your studies at the university?
Yes, a university, yeah.
And then you would squeeze in plant creations at the weekends?
And any other minute of the day.
Any other minute of the day.
Yeah.
So evenings, first thing in the morning.
Quite a timetable.
That is a timetable.
Busy time. Obviously, I've got my family, my parents and my sister and my auntie and grandma. They're all great. They help out massively.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
And so for your degree, were you able to use your experience from setting up your Dan's plants? Were you able to use that for dissertations and anything like that? Or was it very separate from what you were doing with your studies?
No, definitely. Obviously, all the coursework and everything we had to do needed to be related to the business that we were working for, obviously, for obvious reasons. But definitely looking at sort of marketing, operations, finance, especially finance, actually, looking at business finance, because obviously I'd used and looked at all that. For the plant business, that was all sort of secondary knowledge, which was great because we looked at things that I've not looked at, like cash flow, and which is very important. And only sort of now really I'm sort of honing in on that and using past experience and uni experience to bring that all together.
And an incredibly helpful degree to do whilst also setting up your business.
Definitely. I think apprenticeships are definitely on the rise, and I think as they should be.
Yeah, I'm a complete advocate for apprenticeships. I think they're a fantastic way to study and earn, and you don't come out of uni with a massive debt.
No, exactly. Great. I mean, my secondary school always pushed for university. We didn't really have much other options. But obviously with what I was doing, I was sort of looking at all options because ultimately I wanted to carry on growing the plants and growing that side So it was, obviously, if I did go to university and moved away, then that wouldn't be possible. So other options, I think, I definitely think they're the way to go. And obviously, I don't have any university debt off the back of it either.
It seems absolutely the way forward as far as I'm concerned. My humble opinion.
The thing is with apprenticeships, which I think is underlooked, is you're getting experience 3 or 4 days a week. You're applying what you're learning and you're putting it directly in. Whereas if you're at university, you're doing a degree, you have no experience at all.
It's all the theory.
So you have all the theory, but you can have all the theory in the world. And if you apply that into the workplace, it can be completely different. That's what I found. So a lot of my dissertations and coursework was actually disagreeing with the theory, because in the real world, especially in the sector I work in, which is tourism, it's so unpredictable and so completely different for every other business that most of the time it was disagreeing with the theory, actually.
Wow.
Which they like.
Well, they liked it because you got it first,
good.
Is that right?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Unbelievable. And you also got a silver gilt at Malvern.
Yeah.
Yes, very happy with that.
Imagine.
It's interesting how you showed more of a smile when you talked about the silver gilt than you did about the first for your degree.
The degree was a long, hard slog. I'm glad it's over.
How many years was it?
It was 3 years, so it was was the same as any other degree. But yeah, it was hard. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it's over.
Yeah, well, good on you. So one of the things you mentioned, or maybe I read this about you, is how you currently sell in person, so at shows and farm shops and things like that, but you're looking into selling online.
Yes. So
how's that progressing?
It's a tricky one. Time-wise, I don't really have any time to sort of, at the moment, look at it and really invest in what it needs. I'm still working 3 days a week, as well as growing the plants. So I'm not growing the plants full time yet.
What work are you doing 3 days a week?
I work for Cumbria Tourism, which is the destination management organisation for Cumbria in the Lake District.
That's not who you did your apprenticeship with, is it?
It is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. So 3 days a week there, then selling your plants. Where do you fit in setting up a website and all the logistics and infrastructure?
Exactly. So at the moment, this is the issue, is getting the time to look at selling online. At the moment, I'm supplying about six shops and the odd sort of person creating a new board or a new bed in the garden who wants sort of 50, 100 plants. And then obviously I'm doing the shows. So I'm doing one this weekend.
What's this weekend?
It's Country Fest, a local country show.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then I'm doing a plant fair, and then I'm doing another plant fair. So I'm doing
Crikey,
events most weekends now.
You
now in
haven't
the
got
main
any
season.
time at all, have you?
No.
And obviously growing the plants for Wentworth, which is the next RHS show I'm doing in July.
Oh, right.
Southport, Chorley. For the shows that are in sort of July and August, I'm now growing the sales plants for them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So and obviously watering everything else, looking after everything else.
Yeah.
This isn't quite the season, is it, for trying to look into building websites?
No.
I mean, in hindsight, if I'd have known the response from being on Gardener's World and being at the show, I think I would have probably been a bit more prepared and got that sorted before the show.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things. Time moves on, and it gets swept away, and you can't believe how fast it goes.
We say this all the time. So the response to you being on both Gardener's World and at Malvern was huge, was it?
Yeah, I've had loads of messages and emails, probably hundreds actually.
Oh, wow.
Mainly people wanting to buy online from all over the country.
Ew,
yeah, so this is the thing.
This is a very frustrating time.
Yes. So I keep saying to myself, right, well, get this sorted before my next RHS show. But then I step back and think, well, actually, that's in mid-July.
Can't do that.
So that'd be very tricky.
Yeah. And financially, it's not an option to pay somebody to do that for you?
No. Okay. No, not at all. I'm not even full-time doing my plants yet, so being able to pay someone else is definitely not something I'll be able to do. I mean,
and
I
it's
think
not something where it would benefit you having a loan for. I'm not advocating this at all, by the way, but taking out a loan to have someone create that so you could immediately start selling online.
Yeah, I mean, I have been approached by a few website designers who must have sort of seen something about, and obviously seen that I don't sell online at the moment. So that is something I'm going to have to look at. But I mean, I did build my website that I have at the moment myself, so I know sort of what I'm doing. But towards the sales side and putting the shop in, it's another ball game.
It is,
and there are a few kind of legal loopholes that you need to be more aware of once you start taking money online.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for selling online is the packaging, is how you getting the plants from here to wherever they're going. Because if they're going to be chucked around or turned upside down, then it's just going to be a nightmare. So it's just going to get that right. So I think what I'm going to do is order a few plants online from a few different places, see how they come,
bit of research,
and then
interesting. That's a good idea.
then look at, because I think there's a packaging company near me. I need to talk to them about if they have anything, or I can get something from another supplier, because you can get sort of recyclable plastic containers that clip around the pot, which means if they are tipped around and tipped upside down, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the next thing. I think if I can get that sorted, I can get all the other stuff sorted. But yeah, it is just time.
You need the winter months.
Yeah, need some downtime.
Exactly. It might be a winter job, but I do Christmas stuff in the winter.
Of course. So no breaks at all.
No. Well, it's absolutely fantastic. It's very interesting to hear how many more shows you're doing throughout the rest of the year. So people, if they do want to find you, do they go on your website and they can see a list of all your shows?
Okay. Yeah, there's an up-to-date list on my website.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. And also you have your social media pages as well. I mean, one of the fortunate things is being able to do free marketing in this day and age with all social media platforms.
Yeah. Part of my paid job is marketing. So, I'm used to all of that side. I only really do sort of social media. I don't do anything else. And I don't do any emails or anything yet. Again, that'll be something I need to do when I start selling online. But yeah, I mean, I've had, I think, between 300 and 400 new followers since being on Gardener's World as well.
Wow, okay.
So, the audience has grown. Yeah. Because previously to that, my following's been very local. Okay. So now I'm having to sort of think about my wording of my posts to, be inclusive of the whole country. Now.
Of course, yeah. Wow, there's lots to think about, but it's so exciting because it's only growing, isn't it? And
exactly,
to
it's
know
very
that
exciting.
You haven't sort of reached a hard stop with what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's so nice knowing that there's so much more that you could be creating and expanding. And
yeah, there is so much more.
Hat off to you, Dan. I think it's brilliant what you're doing. I really do, and we'll be watching you closely, especially with the onlineness. As I think so. Well, as so many people are going to be watching this space, aren't they?
I mean, I really didn't think many people bought plants online. Because we've got so many nurseries and garden centres. Yeah. Obviously, I knew it was existed, and I knew that particularly for smaller plants like plug plants, I knew that was a big thing. But I didn't know sort of the scale of, like, nearly all the nurseries in the Flora Marquee sell online, and obviously some plants are a lot easier, succulents.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be looking at all of that.
Yeah. Well, look, we could talk for ages. We must get on with your dream garden. So Sweet Pea is our head gardener, and she will take you through it.
So, Dan, for your dream garden, what would be the garden boundary, so surrounding your garden?
I think it would be quite an old classic walled garden, if I had to choose.
Gosh, old walled gardens are loved by everyone.
Very
it's
popular.
Amazing.
And your wall, are you thinking of something traditional from where you live? Is walled gardens quite popular where you are?
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of old estates and houses. We've got Levens Hall, Holker Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Levens Hall particularly is surrounded by a big wall. Mm-hmm. So it'd be something like that, sort of a nice classic Lakeland stone.
And what is Lakeland stone like? Is it quite grey?
Good question. Very grey. Obviously, there's Lakeland slate as well, which you can see a lot in the lakes. And then the stone. I think it's quite grey. I think it's a cross between. It's not far from like a sandstone either.
Okay.
I mean, I might be totally wrong there, but yeah.
It's a roundabout.
It's just a nice stone.
It's a nice stone. Well, that's brilliant.
How high is it going to be?
Quite tall, because I always think about if I did have my own, well, it would be, if a dream, it would be an estate. It wouldn't be just a house and a garden.
No,
then it would have to be zombie apocalypse proof as well. So it would have to be quite tall, 2 meters.
This is our first zombie apocalypse proof walled garden, I think, that we've had.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
So out of interest, what makes a stone wall zombie apocalypse proof?
Oh, I've no idea.
Do you have to have spikes and garlic and I don't know much
well,
about
I think
zombies.
if an apocalypse like that did come about, I could definitely sort something out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Well, I'll be calling you if that happens.
It would be good to have the foundations of a high wall.
Okay.
Yes. Would you like a shed or a greenhouse in your dream garden?
I think it would have to be a nice sort of old style but new Victorian style greenhouse, like like an orangery sort of thing. So you've got a brick surround, and then you've got the glass frame on top.
That's my favourite type, and I know what you mean about the old style but new.
Yeah.
Because you can get traditional, in inverted commas, Victorian style greenhouses, but in lovely modern materials that aren't going to degrade quite so quickly.
Definitely. I'd have all the works as well.
Yeah.
Electric, automatic irrigation, window opening blinds, so I could just sit and look at it and water the plants from my phone.
Yeah.
Open the window from my phone.
Brilliant.
Put a blind down with my phone.
So if you had that would free up time to set up your website for online selling.
Well, exactly. If I had all this.
All automated.
If it was all automated, it would be perfect.
Do you imagine that in the greenhouse you'll have beds in the ground, or are you going to have shelving and pots, or how's it going to be set up inside?
I think so. I mean, I think I'd have more than one.
More than one greenhouse?
Yeah, I mean, separating this from the plant nursery. In my garden, I think I'd have one for maybe specimens.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So just like a showy off greenhouse, like you do.
Yeah.
And then one that's more practical, that you grow in, say, tomatoes in, strawberries in.
Are you growing a lot of things like that as well as your plug plants for selling, or do you have no time to grow anything else outside of what you're doing for the business?
I don't do any gardening at home. I have I leave that all to my dad. I have no time.
Good old
He often
dad.
gets you can put this in, which is like a plant that looks half dead that no one's bought. You can put this in. I do that with grandma as well. Any plants that don't make the grade for anything or need coming around, there you go.
Yeah.
You can have that.
You can have that.
Exactly.
So is that in payment for them maintaining your
Exactly.
space?
I mean, I don't think that they see it quite as cheery as I do, but I mean, it is a form of payment.
Yeah.
For you, it's so lovely. It's like, here's a plant that's kind of dead but half alive, but maybe here.
And then there might be a whole batch of something that's gone wrong, so you've got 100 of something.
Yeah.
Do you think Auntie Sue, do you think you want 20 maybe? Mum, you want 10? Grandma, 30 maybe? You've got a bit of space.
You've got a good family team behind you.
You have. That's brilliant.
Perhaps a bit begrudgingly, but still,
I know. I mean, we've got. I mean, our garden, my grandma's garden, is quite small. Really, it's sort of your average. I mean, I have no idea what an average size is, but it's not big.
No.
But my auntie's got a huge garden, so it's great. So she'll just put anything in.
Nice,
brilliant. What is like a typical morning, daily routine that you have to do in the nursery?
So if I was working, when I say working, I don't mean plants.
So you took the tourism work.
Yes, when I'm doing that, depends how hot it is. If it's sunny, I'll water before work.
Okay. So what time?
I'll be at work. Be sort of 7:30. Mm-hmm. Then I go to work for 9, and then I'd be at work until 5, and then I would go on my way back if anything else needed watering, if it was really hot like it's been in May. And say I would have a few orders from the shops, I would get those together, put those in my van, take those, or take them home, do the labels, and then take them the next day.
Yeah.
That's sort of an average day.
Okay.
If I was, say, preparing for a show, like I am today, it would be in the morning. Well, actually, I've got the whole family helping today.
So I'm
today?
Getting
They're
helping
plants
every
ready.
time, aren't they?
Well, yeah.
They're there with you.
So I'm usually sort of preparing the plants, so getting them all together, getting them, tidying them up, picking out the best, and then they're normally sort of doing maybe the worser jobs.
What do you have to look for on the plants specifically?
So this time of year, it's much easier because there's a lot more in flower.
Yeah.
So nearly all my stuff that I'm taking to my show this weekend is going to be in flower. So anything,
perfect.
say I've got 100 of one type of salvia, I'll maybe get 2 or 3 trays that are perfect. So all like fully in flower, because as annoying as it is, particularly for earlier on in the year when things aren't in flower, people want to buy the flower. They want to buy the colour.
Oh, of course, yeah.
To be fair, I mean, I don't have much patience, so having to wait for that flower to come isn't as appealing as to buying it straight away. But obviously, if you do buy it in full bloom, it's not going to last as long as if you bought it not in bloom. But it's just the way things go. People won't change. Well, they might, but at the moment, people are buying colour. So anything that is colour, but still a few buds, is perfect.
Okay. And this is an interesting point because obviously people talk about the stress when having a show garden because it's making sure every plant looks perfect, things are in flower, so you got the colour. Because I know that I wanted to do for Mother's Day, I tried to get this cutting that I had. I can't remember which plant it was, but it had this one bud on it, and I was just hoping that it was going to flower perfectly on time for Mother's Day. But it was 3 days late, and it was so frustrating. And so how is it when you're doing a whole show garden or a kind of show display? How is it?
So when I was preparing for the Malvern display, it was when we had, obviously, the really good weather. So in April, we had 2 or 3 weeks of sun, but really cold evenings.
Oh.
And then leading up to the show, we had a couple of weeks of sun. So it was great for bringing things on.
Okay.
Obviously, if things might go over, but it's all about having enough, because if you have, say, 10 of one thing and you're only going to put in 1 or 3, then typically out of those 10, there will be 3 that are perfect.
Yeah.
There'll be some that have gone over, there'll be some that aren't going to be ready in time. So it's just about getting the timings right. I mean, a few of the things that were in my display weren't as far on as I'd hoped, and that is one of the points that I missed. One of the criteria that I was slightly marked down on was a few of the plants in there weren't quite as in flower as they should have been, but obviously I didn't have anything else to fill the gap, so they had to go in. So that it's just getting the balance right, and obviously getting lots of flower on about, say, 6 weeks before they need a good feed, and then they can that can encourage more flowers and more buds to come up, because they like lots of flower, but they also like lots of buds. That's what they're looking for. So they're not looking for too much of everything. They're looking for a nice balance of flower and bud.
What would be 5 of your favourite ornamentals for your dream garden?
So people ask me if I have a favourite plant, and I don't have a favourite plant.
No,
I don't have one favourite. It's always changes. It's whatever's looking good at that time. Yeah. So at the moment, things that I'm picking out for this show, which are definitely my favourite at the moment, lupins, very classic cottage garden, aringium, sea holly.
Yeah.
Mine aren't. They're not blue yet. They're silver, but they're still really nice.
Oh, yours are out already. That's amazing.
Yes, yeah. They're coming into flower. They take quite a while to flower, because they at the moment they're silver, but in a few weeks they'll be the classic blue.
But that's the beauty of them, is they're, even without the blue, the silver is so striking.
Exactly,
isn't it?
They're so nice. And then they fade back to the silver, so they last for so long.
Yeah, completely.
So lupins, orangeum, salvias, definitely one of my favourites because there's so many different types.
So many types, and there's a salvia for all seasons almost, isn't there?
There is.
Come out at different times. Some are hardy, some aren't. The colours you get, the smells you get.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you got any favourite varieties?
Definitely. I think one of my favourites at the moment is wine and roses. It's very hardy and it's a lovely colour. You've got sort of a really bright red like you would have in hot lips, and then you've got a really nice sort of more winey burgundy tone as well. So it's just really nice, cool. Really nice. Yeah, and it's a very hardy variety as well.
Right. Okay. Because what are your frost dates up there?
So far this year, it's been more wet than it has sort of frost.
Yeah. It's been an unusual year, hasn't it?
Which is obviously difficult as well, because if things are frozen and cold and then too wet, that's when things rot.
Yeah.
But it does get very cold. It does get very, very wet.
Yeah.
Emphasise on the wet. It's more wet than cold.
A lot of wet up there.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure that if they need protection, they're inside the polytunnel. And if they're sort of not as hardy, then they need fleece as well as being in the polytunnel. But if they're sort of more hardy, they'll be okay outside. As long as the water can drain through, that's fine.
Do you grow any non-hardy salvias or anything? Do you grow anything that's not hardy, which has to have proper protection?
I grow some bedding plants, which obviously don't overwinter anyway. No. Definitely some salvias, particularly like Amistad, and all the rocking varieties, which is a hybrid of very similar to Amistad, but you get them in all the different colours. They're not hardy. They're not hardy at all. The microphyllars, like the lip varieties, they're more hardy. But if you're looking for a salvia, they're lovely. But if you're thinking about longevity, if you feel the stems, the ones that are sort of shaped like a square shape, and they're quite rigid, they're the best ones to go for.
Okay.
Rather than the circle-shaped stems.
If you had a cross-section.
Okay. Yes, if you had a cross-section, it would be look for the square rather than the circle.
That's a top tip.
Even though like the Amistad is square as well. If you're looking at the lip varieties, the stronger stems are the better.
Yeah. That's interesting, because you now know that I'm going to be going into the garden after this.
Yeah, I know.
And feeling,
looking at every single salvia and going, right, are you square or are you round? And what are your other two ornamentals?
Definitely foxgloves, digitalis. I think they're definitely very underrated as a garden plant.
Absolutely love foxgloves.
A lot of people moan about them. Oh, they come up everywhere.
Do they?
They seed themselves
I wish they would.
everywhere.
Yeah.
As in like
more
the
that,
sort of weeds.
Yeah.
But also as if that's a bad thing.
Exactly.
It's the best thing ever.
But they're definitely one of my favourites. And again, but you now you can get them in all sorts of colours. You've got your classics. You've got white. The ones that were in my display at Malvern they were white and then they were dotty inside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which the judges called pristine.
Nice.
Actually.
Always a nice word.
And then obviously you can get orange ones now, pink ones, yellow ones, chocolate ones, all sorts.
I need to find the orange ones.
I think they also, when you see the silhouette of a foxglove, it's undeniably a foxglove. You just know, we've got some on our hill and we walk. The road is quite a distance from the hill and we'll walk and go, oh, can see all the foxgloves, because you can instantly recognise where they are, and they're obviously their spires and they tower, but it's not just that, it's their shape, and there's a sort of romantic element, I always think, to foxgloves. But I didn't know that.
The bees love them.
And the bee, absolute haven for the bees. I didn't know that there was an anti-foxglove brigade. So
no.
That's an
I mean, I've come across an anti of everything
brigade.
Yeah,
of course.
The other one that stands out is verbena, particularly verbena bonariensis.
Yeah.
When I've had those on my stall, people, you can always hear people when they're talking about what they're looking at. You can always hear them. I don't know if they're talking louder than they think they are or what, but you can always hear it, even if they're meters away. You can hear them.
bloody hate the beaners.
Yeah, honestly, they see themselves everywhere.
Another stall.
They're coming up in all my pavement cracks and everything. It's just like, they're brilliant though.
Again, fantastic self-seeders, but I would happily have those going wild in our garden for sure.
Yeah, I do.
But they're definitely not in my top 5. I have to
really?
say. Yeah.
Okay. So
they're just a bit. They're a bit tricky.
Tricky to grow, or tricky because of
not tricky to grow. Not tricky to grow. Just how they grow. Because say you start off with a plant and it's sticking up, they don't grow straight up. They have to.
They kind of go like that.
Come across and then up.
Yeah.
So it's just that when if they're in a big pot, it's fine. But I grow in 1 litre pots, so they're smaller, so I can fit more in. And they're just sort of everywhere, and they all get sprawled and tangled up, and it's a nightmare for
gangly.
Yeah,
I can understand that. I do, however, have a feeling that me and Mummy Bear are definitely the kind of people who speak very loudly when we're looking at certain plants.
Speak for yourself, CP.
I just have a feeling
so
when they're
discreet.
going, ooh, what's that? Oh, crikey.
You think we'd be those annoying people at store?
Yeah, I have a feeling. Well, what's then the final ornamental?
The final one, probably a dahlia.
Of course. What
Again,
variety?
Not a particular favourite. I am really liking the Mystic range at the minute. So it's the dark leaf, and they're mainly a single flower, but there are some with more flowers in. But the colours, they're so vibrant against the dark foliage.
So wait, so the Mystic variety, the definition of the Mystic ones is that they have the darker leaf and the single flower. Yeah, so like Bishop's Children, for example, is a dark leaf and a single flower, isn't it? So would that be considered a Mystic dahlia?
No, there's a whole range of Mystic ones, which is its own hybrid, its own variety.
Okay.
So I had Dahlia Mystic Dreamer in my Malvern display, and that's a really nice pink. It starts off really vibrant, but it fades to a light pink, and it's got sort of jewel shapes on. Right. But you can get others. You can get them in all colours. You can get them white, purple, red, and then there's a really nice one which I'm growing for later on in the year, which is sort of like an orangey red coral colour, and then it's got little. I think it's called Mystic Flares, and it's got little flares coming out the centre, a bit like it's on fire, and it's really nice.
Oh, brilliant! Wow. I'm going to look those up after. I didn't know about the Mystic range.
Yeah, or like a little really collarette. Nice. Does that kind of collarette thing in the middle? Oh, I love those ones. Those are gorgeous,
beautiful.
And there is, I'm actually growing Dahlia Electro Pink, which I think is the first dark-leafed cactus dahlia. So it's got the classic dark leaf, but I think it's the first one then with a cactus-shaped flower, and it's a really, really, really bright pink. Like electric, electric pink. Yeah. Like its name, Electro Pink, but it's really nice.
Well then, what's 5 edible plants for your dream garden?
I think definitely one of them has got to be mint.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, because you can use them in cooking and mojitos and pims.
Yep.
Another one would be basil.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love basil. Love pesto.
Basil
too.
Wow,
fantastic. Yeah.
Do you make your own pesto?
I would be lying if I said yes.
Who in the family does that for you?
No one.
No one. Oh, okay.
No, I don't grow basil.
Oh, okay. No. Well, you don't have time, as we've established.
But that's definitely one of my favourite edibles. And I think last year I came across a dark-leafed basil. And it was more of an ornamental one, but you could still use it in cooking, and it had really nice flowers on as well.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. In your dream garden, are you wanting a designated veg part, or are you wanting it mixed with ornamentals?
I'd definitely have a kitchen garden.
Garden.
Obviously, because I would have a team of gardeners.
You already have a team of gardeners, Dan. We've established
your family,
Auntie and Lily.
But I would definitely have a separate kitchen garden.
And would it have its own dedicated wall?
Yeah, definitely. And I think I'd have an outdoor kitchen there as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
very nice. Do you foresee the future as you build up your incredible plug plant empire and you have this estate that we know you're going to have? Do you see yourself handing over the reins to someone else and you will sit back, you will be messing about in your outdoor kitchen, making your own pestos and mojitos? Or do you think you will always want to be fully immersed in what you're doing?
No, I think I'd always have to be involved. Definitely. I'd definitely be, I think I'm definitely a bit of a control freak.
Are you?
As well.
I can understand that.
I mean,
but it's your baby, isn't it? So naturally,
it is.
Going to be a control freak.
I think I love potting the plants. But when you're sort of doing them all, if you're trying to cram them all a load of potting in one day, when you sort of hit the 1,000 mark, you're really sort of I'm sick of this now.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
But really obviously I would hopefully in the future have a potting machine which fills the pots for you, so you just then put in the plug plants in.
What's this potting machine? Tell me about that. How does it work?
So I don't have one yet, but it's definitely on my list for when I find some more land to grow for the long term. So you can get them all different types, but mainly they're sort of for filling pots. So I use square 1 litre pots, and you fit 10 in a tray. So that tray filled with pots would go through the machine. The compost would sort of, you'd put a bale of compost in. Mm-hmm. It would sort of rotate it, aerate it. It'd bring it up on a hopper and it would drop it in. And then it would sort of smear the top so it would be nice and flat. Mm-hmm. And then it would bring it along on a conveyor belt, and then you would be there. And it would also put a hole in for you in the middle of each one.
Wow. So you just drop the thing in.
And then further along the conveyor belt, you'd just be there putting the plants in yourself, and then it'd go along. Someone would be barking. But I mean, you can get ones that put the plants in for you. You can get one that do everything.
Should you just explain what you mean barking? You don't mean of a canine type.
Once I put the plant in, I put a layer of not a big layer, just a thin layer of bark, quite fine bark, and I do that for a few reasons. The first reason is because I'm peat free. Peat-free compost is great, but it does dry out quicker, especially when the sun is shining on it. So putting that layer of bark on makes a barrier from when the sun's on. It doesn't dry out. Mm-hmm. It also stops any weeds coming up as well. And quite a few of the peat-free compost have spores in. Okay. Not like a mushroom. It's more of like a sort of a weird spore anyway, so they can come up and they can fall onto the leaf and dye the leaf, so it stops anything like that from coming up, but it's mainly to keep the moisture in. And when you are coming to pick out the plants and you're at a show, they just look so much better. You've got and you don't have to tidy them up, you've no weeding to do, there's no liverwort on, there's no moss, it's all nice and clean and fresh.
Oh yeah, of course.
And so if you, first of all, approximately what does a machine like this cost? Are we talking hundreds, or are we talking thousands?
No idea, definitely thousands. I mean, you'll be able to get second-hand ones. You can probably get a second-hand one for under 10,000, but anything new I'd say would be more than that.
So how would that increase your productivity? By how much would it increase it?
I'm not sure how much, but it would save a massive amount of time. At the moment, my mum is my potting machine. She fills the pots.
Longest suffering family I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So she fills the pots at the moment, or most of them, and it depends how many we're doing. If we're doing a whole trolley full of plug plants, there can be 2,000 plants. So that's 200 trays. 10 pots in a tray. It's a lot. There's a lot of time. It would definitely save time.
So currently, if you were doing 2,000, how long is that taking you? You and Mum, how long is that taking the two of you?
If there's just two of us, it would take us days.
Okay.
But my grandma, the other week, my grandma and one of my grandma's sisters, and my sister and another friend and my mum. So I think there was 6 of us.
Wow.
We did 2,000 in one day.
Right.
between all 6 of us.
You must have had like a machine, like I do that, then pass it on, and then you do
Oh,
that.
it was great. Mum was filling the pots, then it would go to either my grandma and a sister or a friend to then put the plant in, and then me and my sister were barking and labelling, and then I would be moving, and then all the plants would go onto a trolley, then I'd be moving them around and putting them down onto the ground somewhere.
Crikey, yes.
Okay, so the 2,000 through a machine, wouldn't do the labelling, presumably?
No, I mean, if I was to have one, it would just be to fill the pots and then put a hole in. We would do the rest. Because I think, because plug plants, they can come in all different types of sizes. And I think if you're not, unless you're growing millions of plants, that's when you would have a transplanter that is like a robot. The arms come in, take the plant out of the tray and put it in the pot.
Wow, okay.
I wouldn't go that far. Wouldn't go that far.
It's a world I'm not aware of at all. So it's really interesting to hear about it. I appreciate that.
I wasn't aware of that either.
I mean, where I am now, it's probably not efficient enough. I probably don't produce enough plants to be able to warrant buying a potting machine. But when I find some more land, more long term, that's bigger, that's when I would look at it.
Yeah. So for this estate, you would want them. Absolutely.
Well, if I had my big acres and acres of nursery, then it would be. I'd definitely need a potting machine.
Yeah, of course. Well then, what are the 3 other edible plants?
I think another one, and I've started to grow that this year, is fennel.
Oh yes, the giant fennel.
Yeah, giant fennel, because I've seen it in a few gardens and in a few displays, and it just looks brilliant.
It's spectacular.
As well as being able to eat it, it's just so nice and fine, and it just
lovely
really
fragrance.
Yeah, so I'm going the bronze variety this year, so the sort of the darker one, and that with say your pinks and your purples and your white flowers, it just makes them really stand out. I think another one would be something like a strawberry.
Yeah. Good old strawberry.
Good old strawberries. Love strawberries. And I think the other one would be, I've never tried it, but I've always wanted to. And I really enjoy it. And it's rhubarb. I think I'd like to try rhubarb.
Yes.
So with any of these edibles, is that ever going to be on the horizon that you'll start selling?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I think if I were to grow them out, it would just be for sort of myself, really.
Yeah.
I just need to be careful that I don't try and take on growing too much. I need to sort of concentrate and specialise in one thing rather than... But I would definitely grow those in my estate kitchen garden.
Well then, what would be one statement tree?
I think it would have to be either something that flowers or something that is just amazing. So it would either be a cornus, one of the cornus that flowers around this time of year, or it would be a massive, ancient, really nice colour Acer.
Oh, yes. Or Acer. Yeah,
Acer is one of my favourites. I know I say this every time someone says an Acer, but I just think they're spectacular. And you saying, really massive ancient ones, they can get so huge in this massive canopy as well of fluttering leaves. It's
it is
a beautiful
amazing
choice.
But there's near me is Levens Hall, I think, which is one of the most famous topiary gardens. And obviously, I'd love to have a garden like that with all those topiary trees. But being a bit more realistic, it would be a cornus or an Acer.
Where have you got inspiration from when you're thinking of kind of your own dream garden? Are there any places you've been to and you've gone, wow, that's brilliant, that's a great idea?
I think definitely Levens Hall is one of them. Levens Hall, Holker Hall, they're all local to me.
So you visit them a lot, do you?
Yeah, I supply them as well, so
right.
they're quite regularly. And we've got quite a lot of National Trust gardens here as well. Besides the castle, we've got quite a few of the Beatrix Potter houses as well. So visiting those and sort of looking at what other people have put in their RHS display and garden as well.
Would you used to visit with your grandmother or your parents when you were younger? Or is it something you've done more recent years? You would do?
Yeah, Grandma used to take us to a lot of the National Trust places when we were younger.
So gardening really is in the blood then?
I'd say it's in my grandma's blood. I'd
So
say
it's not
in my mum's. Yeah. Sorry, mum. We were sorting out some plants earlier, and to be fair to her, I'd moved a plant. I think it was a Fidelis or something like that, and the plant was tiny, but instead there was a giant thistle growing in the pot. Don't know how that had got in there. But I'm also growing some echiums not too far away. I'd moved this plant out of the way sort of to sort out, but she'd moved it with the echiums.
Oh no.
To be fair, they are in the same family.
Yeah.
And they look similar.
So she's helping out the birds. Birds love a thistle, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And and we can grow I can grow a nettle or two. I had a hanging basket with a giant nettle in it as well.
Beautiful, nice job.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You should see the nettles in our garden.
I did take it out.
We've had a problem this year where they've just gone into all our beds. Previously, we'd have them on borders, and we like to have them for the butterflies.
Yeah.
And I always say how I love foxgloves in amongst nettles. I think that's a really pretty border to have.
Yeah.
But this year, those nettles, we've both been stung all up our arms just trying to eat them all out the beds. I don't know where, I know where they've come from because we keep them around the edges.
Yeah, they've just kind of flown in.
They're self-seeding everywhere. But yeah, we're good at presenting pretty weeds in our basket.
Exactly. You can make them look pretty.
Yeah.
You talked about Holker Hall. That was on Gardener's World, actually.
It was on Gardener's World the week after me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Okay.
After.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you went round yourself to Holker Hall, is there anything that you saw that wasn't shown on Gardener's World?
Oh, loads. I think it's a massive estate and garden, and they only showed a very small feature. Really, I think they focused on some of the big ancient trees, which they're quite well known for.
Yeah,
and then
that was
I think they were planting up a new bed. And a new border. But yeah, there's so much. There's the formal gardens, which I thought there was going to be more footage of, mainly because I grew the white forget-me-nots that they had in there. So I was on the lookout for them, thinking, oh, can I plug this as well?
Yeah.
But there wasn't really a feature on there. But it's amazing. So it's in the front of the house, as you would imagine. Very nice shaped trees, very nice lawn. You've got beds in the middle of the lawns, all really nice, very uniform. And they had in them, I'm not sure what tulip it is. I think it was something like Queen of the Night. So it's a really dark burgundy purple, almost black. And then white forget-me-nots
beautiful
around them, which I'd grown.
You had grown.
And they had them all around the edge, and they had them all around the edge of the lawn, and it looked really nice. But there wasn't any of
dramatic.
that. Yeah, I don't think that was included in the.
No. Well, they say that for a 7-minute segment, a lot of our guests who've had a 7-minute segment shown on the show, the team have been there from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night filming.
Yes.
So when you go around somewhere like Holker Hall, especially the way they film, it's not slipshod. This is beautiful photography that they do. They're not going to be able to do it justice in the amount of time that they would have had to do it. But when you grow something like the white forget-me-nots for somewhere like Holker Hall, do they contact you and say, Dan, we need an order of 500 white forget-me-nots?
Yeah, so I've got quite a good relationship with the gardener at Holker Hall, Matthew, who was on the on the programme. So we'd sort of been chatting. They have quite a few plants that they need for the beds, because in the formal garden it's seasonal. They do a display for summer and then a display for winter, sort of early spring.
Okay.
So they're always changing that. So we had sort of been talking about what I could supply them. Obviously, I'm very restricted on space, and with everything I'm doing this year, all the extra shows, I couldn't really make the summer stuff work, but I could do the forget-me-nots because I grew them in the autumn last year. So I made that work.
Okay.
We'd sort of been throwing ideas, but ultimately he has a list of what he wants. So it's just a matter of, yes, I'll grow. I think it was 1,500 white forget-me-nots.
So you're one of his go-to suppliers?
For particular things, yeah.
Yeah. How did that relationship first come about? Did you contact them? Did they contact you? What was the very sort of starting point for that?
So they do a few events. So they do a spring event. So it was Spring Fest. So it's quite a gardening, home living focused event. So I did that a few years ago, and that's sort of where I got in front of them really, because they have a gift shop there that sells plants. So after the back of doing that show, they've started to sell a few plants for the gift shop, and obviously I had some good conversation with the gardener, and we've been back and forth. He showed me around, and yeah, that's how it started really.
For your dream garden, are you wanting a pond or a pool in your dream
Both.
garden? And what plants would you have in that area?
Sorry, but nope.
Nope.
Obviously, it'd be both. I would love a pond. I would also love a lake, really, as well.
Well, you can have a lake instead of a pond.
So I'll have both. I'll have a lake and a pond.
Can't have both.
One or the other.
No, it's an either or situation.
I think it would be a lake then.
Lake. It's kind of like just a huge pond.
It's a massive pond
with a rowing boat on.
Yes. And an island.
And then, why not? Hey, why not? And then a pool with a hot tub in it, and then
it's
it would obviously have to be a heated pool because it's a bit chilly up here.
So you can only choose one or the other. So out of the two,
really?
What would you prefer?
Yeah.
So I think it would have to be a pond, but it would be a big one.
Wait, so not the lake?
Well, it would be a lake/pond.
Have your lake?
Yeah.
Because you can swim in your lake.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, it won't be heated, but if I had to choose one, I think it would be a large pond/lake.
Got it. With a boat and an island.
Yeah,
fantastic.
And a jetty.
And a jetty, of course, yeah. And what plant would you want in that area?
Oh, good question. I'm not sure.
So you could have water lilies or bulrushes? Or...
Water lilies, very nice. Yeah, I do like water lilies and irises as well.
What's that massive water lily type thing that's in Botanic Gardens, Sweet Pea?
Oh,
you know the one
the
Martin shows.
Can't remember the exact name. It's something like
Gigantica or something.
Oh, Amazonica something. But it's this huge water lily, and it's
got a lip
amazing.
All the way around the
leaves,
and the leaves
like
are
saucers.
Yeah, just you could put a small child in the middle of one.
Wow.
And then they've got a lip around. So
I'd need some of those because obviously I'd have a very big space to fill.
It's so big, you could get away with that.
Exactly.
You could also assume, you said you wanted a heated swimming pool, you could assume you're in a climate where it's warmer and therefore you don't need...
Very true, yeah. Just only go in at the end of summer.
Yeah.
I mean, would you have your dream garden where you are, or is there another country in the world that you'd prefer, or somewhere else in the UK you'd prefer?
No, I think I would have it here.
Where you are. Is that because you've got all the members of the family helping with your business, so you need to stay
Well, exactly,
close to
them? Don't want to move too far away, do we?
No.
No, of course
but
not.
It's just such a nice part of the country as well. You've got everything on our doorstep here.
Yeah.
You know, good access to the motorway as well for coming further afield. And then, it's great.
It is a pretty special part of the world. I took Sweet Pea there when she was about 7.
Oh.
And
I'm trying to remember that.
You remember we did that road trip? We went around and you threw your bracelet into the lake.
Yeah, and then started crying because I chucked it in the lake.
She had flung her arms and gone, "Isn't that beautiful?" And her bracelet just flung off her hand into the lake. So it went from being overjoyed at the sheer beauty of it to just in tears. That was hard times.
Very, very hard times.
But it's a beautiful part of the world, so I don't blame you.
Gorgeous. What would be your favourite sitting area to sit down on in your dream garden? With your favourite drink, of course, and find me a final plant for that area.
Well, I think I'd have a few seating areas, but if I had to choose, I would come out the house in a big sort of bifold doors. I'd have a nice patio. I'd have the outdoor kitchen not too far away.
Yeah.
And then I'd have maybe a stream coming past, which will then go into the big pond.
Oh, yeah.
Some nice comfy chairs, maybe one of those swingy seats.
Oh, yes.
That hangs from its own frame.
Yeah, one of those, I think. A nice big L-shaped sofa, I think, with a fire pit table in the middle that you could just sort of fall into.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gorgeous.
I like the sound of that a lot.
Yeah, completely. And what would be your drink and your plant?
Definitely a Pimm's.
Definitely a Pimm's.
With mint from your...
With mint grown from my kitchen garden.
Yeah.
And strawberries from my greenhouse.
Of course.
Yeah.
And maybe cucumber as well. Cucumber from my kitchen garden.
Of course. And the plant?
And the plant, probably maybe a salvia.
Ooh, what one?
I think I'd have a few. But if I had to choose, it would be my favourite, the wine and roses.
Yeah. The wine and roses, lovely.
But you do already have that, so I'm wondering if Dan's plant for that area should be a cucumber, because otherwise you're not going to get cucumber in your Pimm's.
Oh,
that's true. That is true.
That's a good point.
It's not the most sort of ornamental looking plant to have near your seating area, but
no, but maybe let's put the verbena there, shall we? We need a place for that.
Oh, the verbena.
Let's put the verbena. Oh, gorgeous.
I think I'm quite happy that verbena's made a place in your garden.
Yeah,
it would definitely be in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well then, I'm going to read back to you your dream garden, just in case you want to change anything.
Yeah.
So for the garden boundary, we're having acres of estate, and land, gorgeous house. We're going to have an old walled garden, fairly tall, 2 meters, just in case of the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
And in a classic Lakeland stone, we were going to have 2 greenhouses, one for specimens, one for kind of more practical stuff like tomatoes, etc. That was going to be kind of old/new Victorian orangery greenhouse with that low brick wall. And of course, loads of automated stuff inside. So electrics, opening blinds, window opener, all that great stuff.
Perfect.
Then 5 ornamentals. We had lupins, eryngiums, salvias, wine and roses, for example, foxgloves and dahlias, the mystic range and the electric pink ones, with a special mention to Verbena bonariensis, which comes up later. Then your 5 edibles in a specific kitchen garden, separate area, with an outdoor kitchen as well. We had mint, basil, giant fennel, the bronze variety, strawberries and rhubarb. Then we had 2 ideas of trees. We were going to go with a cornus or an ancient acer. Both are absolutely gorgeous. And then finally, you're going to have a lake/pond with a rowing boat and an island and a little jetty and water lilies and irises around. And the huge lily is called the Victoria Amazonica. So that's the one with the amazing leaves.
Perfect.
Gorgeous. And then finally, your seating area was just outside the house, bifold doors, on a little patio with a stream running past it into the pond, an L-shaped sofa with a fire pit in the middle, drinking Pimm's with mint, strawberries and cucumber with a Verbena bonariensis next to you.
Perfect.
Sounds brilliant.
Pretty stunning.
That sounds
wonderful
great.
estate.
Well, I better buy a lottery ticket now.
Yes, absolutely.
Make it a reality.
Yeah, it sounds a good plan. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for joining us, Dan.
No, it's been lovely. Thank you for having me.
That's been a good old chit-chat with Dan.